Morning there, guys and gals. We've been working on a side project in the mix of all these other videos, and well, I'll go ahead and just show you this old gal. You've seen it before, but you haven't seen me doing anything to it, I don't believe. So I'm gonna let you in on a little, here's coming at you for the future. I've affectionately called it the Mustang. Yep, she's a 1966. I picked this thing up earlier this year or last year. I can't remember because I don't remember. But anyway, this is the one that I ran over the trunk. Yep, and I'm replacing the rear tail pan there. I was able to kick out like 90% of the dent that I caused in that quarter panel. You remember the four-wheeler story. I don't want to go back through that. But anyway, so I just want to show you what all to expect with this thing. I mean, we're going to do a wide body kit. We're going to make our own out of that piece of sheet metal for the rest of the wide body kit. We are replacing pieces of the frame. And why? Yeah, just because of, that's where I actually cut out pieces of the trunk, see. But right there, it's kind of, she's a church frame, pretty holy. And it's same over here. It's nice. And, granted, the motor that is going in this isn't going to be a romp 'em, stomp 'em, kind of twist the guts out of it. It's probably 97.8% sure it's going to be a pretty much bone stock 5-liter. I don't know if it's had a cam swap or not. It kind of sounds good. It's in the white 94 GT I got. We'll take a look at that. And this thing needed a lot more work than what I thought that it did. I thought that it just needed pans, floor pans, and it came with it, so that's good. Now I do have to finish welding them in and all that. I haven't even, I've drilled the holes out, so that's a plus. But whilst I was doing that, I discovered apparently these suckers are known, I tells you, for that. And not only that, oh, yep, that one too, yep. And then, oh, yep, oh, yep, that one too. So, yeah. And then somebody professionally repaired it over here. I mean, those welds are pretty much what you would love to see in a junkyard, but not on a car that you're doing. So the good news is, I don't know why they did what they did, because it's just confusing to me. Like, if I can get the, come here, don't fight, quit it. Now that I blinded you. So it looks as though this part is new. This part is not new. This part has been professionally welded. That's always a plus. Until the bolt holes don't line up right there, or like right there. So that's not a big deal, right? Like just, quarter inch, half inch off. It doesn't matter, because I'm sure, it'll be fine. Nope, we're gonna have to fix it. So that means we gotta drop this whole front suspension, which is just, icing on the cake for a fella like me. Both sides, and, oh, there's another piece. It's just hanging out. But, that's okay. That's okay. We have plans for this car, and actually we're gonna make it pretty darn good looking. Front bumper, we're hitting the delete button on it. We're gonna make our own front valance, one like you've never seen. I hope we make one like you've never seen. It's freaking awesome. Not like one you've never seen and it looks like you should have just left her alone there, friend. Okay, well, there's a piece I didn't know was rotted out, so that's good. See it right there? Nope, because it's dark. And it's right in there. It's right above the spring. So the good thing is, it's only holding in the spring, and it's rusty. Huh. Saying that to say this, we're doing as much budget build as we can to this thing. And the more I look at it, I think I want to stop looking. We're going to patch panel this. We're going to cut out a little piece of metal and fit it in for that one. We're taking these off. There was originally like a piece of, you know, metal down there that shined real pretty in the sun or something. So we're going to take these off. We're going to make it do, you know, do what it do. We also have patch panels for this right here. So that's a plus. We don't have the drop-offs, which, you know, it's just a little bit of rust delete, you know, weight reduction. You know, it's just, this is quickly shooting my budget. I'm just, you know what I mean? It's just, it is. But we got frame rails coming, okay? That's a plus. We got these rear frame rails coming. And I will tell you a secret. Cobalt drill bits by DeWalt. You heard that right. I learned something new, and I was not hip to it. I thought Cobalt bits, K-O-B-A-L-T, was the bits that I needed because I did a little Google search on it, right? It's Cobalt, C-O-B-A-L-T. And the ones I bought from Lowe's, they are the business. I'll show you what they look like, because whenever you're drilling out, I don't know, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11, the list goes on. There are a butt ton of plug welds all through these cars. I'm learning. I had no idea. I knew there were some. I didn't think there was that many. There are. So just brace yourself and get a real good welder, or one that actually works, because that one works great. I have delved into these kind of drill bits that you get off the Amazonian site. These kind for spot welds, along with these kind. These actually work pretty darn good. But I don't think anything beats the Cobalt drill bit. I'm telling you, that thing is straight money. Tears through it like crazy. And you don't have to put a lot of pressure on it. Let the drill bit do its work. But here in a second, I'll go out here and we'll see the drivetrain that we're using, okay? Just give me a few minutes. Well, this is the drivetrain that we're using, and you may have seen it in a past video, and it's in the beginning of some of these shows. It's a 94, I think, 95. It's called an SN65 type, you know, Mustang, Ford Mustang. Is that? I think that's right. And it's got the 3.8 in it. Yeah, right. Oh yeah. Got the old 5-point slow HO in her. And we're using this because we got this extremely affordably cheap. Is that the thing? We got it and it's affordable and it's here and it's all together. And it runs actually. Runs okay-ish. I think it has a bad injector. I'm not sure. We've debated about using these wheels. These are Cobra R wheels. I don't know. I'm not in love with them, and I may have found another set of wheels that I hit the like button on more. Here's the thing. She's going to be an fully automatic transmission. We're not using this console, I don't believe, just because. Nope, don't think so. But we're not really using, like, yeah, none of this interior, I don't believe, which is not in a horrible shape. And this thing has like a butt ton of miles on it. We are going to steal those speakers back there. Those are like Monsoon, or oh, they're called Mach. They say Ford on it. So I guess we're going to do that anyway. So we may use the wheels. We may end up getting a different set and selling these. I'm not sure. But yeah, we're going with a 5-point slow in it, automatic, and Probably gonna steal the mufflers off that and them chrome tips, because I think those are rock. And they actually sound really good with a 5-point slow. I hate saying that. They do have a good sounding exhaust whenever you go with the Flow Master, Slow Master, whatever. But anyway, I'm gonna run up here and grab some clothes, because mommy don't like it whenever, you know, I take a shower in there and it looks like the tub's rusting out. So I'm gonna grab some clothes for down here, and then we're gonna get, you know, zipping to it. All right, so just give me a few. Well, this Mustang, every time I cut into it, it seems like there's more work to do. And I wasn't going to add this part because I was hoping by the time I got to the driver's side, I'd be like more gooder at it. But anyway, so I cut into this thing yesterday, and I don't know if you guys can see this non-matching piece of metal down here at the bottom. I originally said in this video, later on you'll see, that I wasn't going to do this. That I wasn't going to show you how to mock up your panel and all this stuff. I lied. So what I did is I vice gripped it as close as I could to all of these points matching. This, in here, I mean just all of it. The top line, now I matched it up and I took a marker, which I've already lost the lid to, thank God. And I just lined it up and I drew me a line. Now I did have it vice gripped, you're just gonna have to take my word. Then I slid it down roughly an inch-ish or so. Use your straight edge, okay? Because you don't want to be following a non-straight edge. Nope, that's my marker. I've really lost the lid. I made 2 marks and lost the lid. What the heck? Anyway, so ignore me saying later in this video that I'm not doing that, because I just did that. But I'm not going to delve into all of this stuff in here because I've already did that on the other side somewhat. So it's the same thing, just different. I just wanted to show you guys, if you don't know how to get your lines to roughly what you think you need, that's what you're going to have to do. And like I say, I made 2 sets of lines, right, wrong, or indifferent. I made 2 sets that way so I could say, okay, well, my original line was way off, or it was gooder. You make your own, you know. But you're going to end up cutting into this, and then you're going to run into the trunk drop-off panel that's shot, and the wheel well that's shot, and you're going to end up making those pieces. So have fun, and just like I did on the other side, all right? And now we'll resume the video where I didn't do any of this stuff. Cut-off wheel. Just use your cut-off wheel and, you know, zing that sucker right off of there. That's what I'm going to do. So good luck to me and good luck to you in your project. And I'm going to get back at it. All right. All right. So apparently I knocked the poopy out of the camera for a second. Anyway, like I was saying, every time I cut into this car, there's like more work to be done. Now you can't see behind this piece that's now fully solid. But it was gone, like, oh, there it is. I kept these pieces just for you guys. And the reason why is, you're going to want to keep them as a pattern, even though you don't have much of a pattern to go off of. Like, I don't know, like this piece. That was my pattern. Yeah, it's gone. So I cut up to where, you know, was good for me, where it wouldn't, I don't think it connected. Yeah. So I cut up to a nice, good, clean area. And this one I cut well past the clean area, just because it was easier to go off of this line right here. So that's what I did. And then I angled it because I have a angle grinder. Yeah. So anyway, it all lined up very, very great. And like I said, this was this piece. It was just, yeah, Gandhi. So even though this doesn't have these little bevels or whatever, and I realize that's probably made for like reinforcements if you get hit in the rear, but honestly, I don't care. I didn't want to cut any more of this floor out of this trunk, even though we are replacing pieces of the floor. I just didn't feel like doing that. I'm going to be honest with you. Now, I drew it all out in marker, permanent marker, by the way. And then what I did, once I got it in spot, I would mark certain places. Like there and there, you can see where I put weld through. I used weld through primer. That way, so this underneath is protected once I get all of it, you know, hidden with that panel. It is what it is. So I welded all of this solid. I'm going to finish probably welding all of that solid as well. But I didn't actually even plan to show this, just because this is not typically what I would do, but this is, how do you want to say, an extreme budget build. I mean an extreme budget build, like the least amount of monies that we can put in it, with it being structurally sound and safe and look good. This is a backyard build, side yard build. This is the side yard. Whatever. Like, I bent this piece of metal with a vise, because I had to put a lip on it right here to weld to this panel. I put it in a vise, and then I bent it over this way using my Olympic weight bar. That's not a joke. Because if you want a round edge, you better have it on something round, or else it's going to be squared. That's fact. I saw that in someone else's video. I don't remember who, or else I'd give you a shout out. But yeah, if you're wanting round, you better bend it over something round, or it's going to be squarish. That's just how it is. Secondly, on this panel here, I really didn't expect it would come out this good. I still have like very little trimming to do, and it's going in. I was using the driver's side or passenger side first. That way, so if I screwed it up, I didn't have to look at it every day while I got in the car and say, man, I wish I would have done yada, yada, yada. But it come out really good. Now, this one actually has a name on it for the panel. I grabbed cheap panels. One of these was like 42 and the other one was like 39 or something. I don't remember which one. It come off Evil Bay, I think. Pretty sure it come off the Evil Bay. But anyway, see these marks here. Now, what I did, I marked the bolt holes that way so I wouldn't have to keep on realigning this panel every single time. And I just did that to speed up the process, you know what I mean? So I'm going to fit it up, and I've already seen a flaw besides this being rusted, which I may cut and add a lip there. I may not, I don't know. But the piece doesn't fit right in here real good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off this lip right in here, because I think it's hitting this piece and not allowing it to go in. So I might take that all the way down, just enough with the grinder or something. And then we're going to see if it makes it fit more gooder. I hope it does, because I really want to nail this. I'm not a professional at all. I'm not even an amateur. I mean, this is seriously like, yep, first time I've ever fit body panels, period. So, you know, it all look real good. I hope it does. That's what we're aiming for. Just like I always say, you aim small, you miss small, right? So we're gonna trim this right down. Let me show you guys what's going on, and maybe it'll explain a little better, okay? So just give me just a second to set this all up, and hopefully it'll explain a few things. Give me a second. All right, so this is roughly what I'm talking about. Again, I don't have it perfectly lined up here yet. I just want to show you guys a real quick what I'm talking about. See how this is not aligned with this at all? I believe if I take this and trim this, especially right in here and here, that it'll allow this to kind of I don't know, fit in there magically more gooder. Because I think this right here is this thing's fault. I think. We're going to try it and see what happens. We're going to cut and grind and, you know, say a silent swear, I'm sure. We're not going to do it on camera because that's not, you know, we don't do that. We try not to. Anyway, so that's the dealio on that one. And then hopefully we are fitting this panel a little bit more, welding her up solid and calling it good. And hopefully we do just as good on the driver's side as what we did, you know, over here on the passenger. Who would have thought? I mean, for real. But anyway, let me see what's going on with this, and we'll come right back at it and see how to fix it. All right? See you guys here in a minute. All right, guys, so we ran into a little issue that we caused ourselves, and that was our inner fender that we had made was causing the alignment to be off as well. And remember how I told you I was going to ground that down? I did, and it got me way more gooder fitment. This, of course, did not line up. I mean, I kind of cut it a little not so gooder, but hey, it's my first panel. And this has a gap, so we're going to take our hammer and we're going to, you know, just give her a little love tap, get her in spot, because all the other lines up beautifully. So that tells me that the panel is just not made so. You're going to run into that into your name brand ones, and especially in your non-brand ones. This is a no brand. I forget what brand it is. CHL or something. I don't know. It's a more affordable, if you will, wallet friendly or type. Yep, you're shaking your head. You know what I mean. So it kind of is what it is, but nonetheless, I mean, we do not have rust down here anymore, and that was the goal. And we don't have rust behind it. That was another goal. So this was a, if I had to put a prox type value on it, $50 to fix the rust underneath, the inside of the fender, and for this piece here, I'm pretty sure it was like 39 or 42, 43, somewhere in there. And because I have a big old piece of sheet metal over there, 18 gauge that I bought, and that's what I repaired all that with. You want to use, you know, the right metal. These older cars are a lot thicker than these new ones. I think these new ones might be 20, 22 gauge, something like that. It's comparably thin. That's why these old cars are still sitting around and still sitting around, because they were made of better metal. That's just all there is to it. But I just want to show you guys that you know, it took a lot of prep time. You're going to take this panel on and off, gosh, 30 times probably. I mean, I had to go through and retrim this lip. Even though this is off right here, that doesn't matter. I can fill that with weld. It's going to be a solid all the way across. Then we're going to grind it down, and it's going to have a real skim layer of this never happened on it. It doesn't matter. I mean, you know, all cars have putty. I just want to say that. All cars have Bondo-ish plastic to make them appear smooth as glass. They do. I don't care who you are, but I'm telling you, you're wrong if you think that they don't. The brand new ones from the showroom, all of them do. All they do. If they do not, then somebody spent well more time than what they should have on the body perfecting every single thing. I've seen, you know, the all metal cars that you see sometimes, and then they just clear them for whatever reason. But anyway, to each their own. I also want to show this to you. I had a bad spot up here, okay? Yep, that's cool now. So, as you can see, the rest of this is, well, that's rust free now. And this was just a little spot. I just filled it with weld. Then I'm gonna grind it down, and we're gonna make it fit, right? Why not? I'll tell you why not. Because I'm putting fender flares on this stinking thing. So that was in vain. But anyway, I just want to show you guys that because something shiny happened and I saw it. Dang it. Yeah, we're flaring this thing out if you guys are new to the channel and didn't see that already. flares. We're building our own body kit. So the good part is half of this will get cut out that I'm welding in. And that rust right there won't even be a issue. Continuing on. So we're gonna fit this baby in there and we'll show you the end result. Sound good? Now we will have to come down here, and I purposely left this here to show you guys, you know, sometimes when you're doing these panels, you're not going to trace them correctly. It's not a big deal. Take your angle grinder, grind that down close, flip it upside down, and then match it up perfectly. That's not that hard. This is stuff you can do in your garage, I promise you. Even if you don't have the best welder, I have a pretty darn good welder. You're probably going to want one that has gas because they burn hotter and no slag. They are money. They're great. I think I picked mine up a couple years ago for like 300 bucks. So, and it did have gas with it. I've since then went through another can of gas, but you know, it kind of is what it is. But anyway, enough yakking. Let's get to cracking and making this thing fit, and then we'll do something else. Does that sound good? All right. Well, we got it installed, and oh my gosh, I am living proof that you can make cheap parts and homemade parts work, dare I say it, perfectly. I mean, we got it. We even trimmed up our piece down here where it's absolutely flush with the bottom of the fender. And just so you guys know, these are going to be ground down. I'm actually going to get one of them file thingy grinders that like pinpoints, because I kind of blew through right here because I used the flappy disc a little too much. I kind of worked that a little too hard in all the areas I shouldn't have. So I'm going to get the little grinder thingy and get specifically on the welds themselves. I'm going in, look at that. Can you see it? Can you just see it? No line. So we're going for like the most minimal Bondo. Like I told you guys, all cars have a skim coat to make them perfect. They do. That being said, I'm trying to go for the least amount of Bondo that I can in this. That's the ultimate goal in any car, I hope. I mean, you would hope that somebody would want to do it correctly and not just slap mud in it. Even though we're not doing this car to a concourse restoration at all, we do want it solid and we do want it right for the most part. I mean, you know, not everything's going to be correct on this car, and that's fine. But I am so, now these are just, you know, like I say, I'm going to pinpoint and get a little file grinder on it, and I don't have one yet. We got to make a trip north, so, and they have a Harbin East Freight up there, so I can see me stopping there, absolutely, picking one of those up, and or seeing what the Amazonian site says, if they can get me in one like rather quickly. So that right there is fitment of this panel. I know I didn't show cutting it, and I'll show you basically what I did. This is kind of a backwards working forward kind of deal. Sorry about that, guys. I really didn't intend to show that, but that one just kept going so smooth. I felt like if I didn't, this next one's going to go like garbage, and I would hate myself. Now this is an absolute no name that I can tell. Yeah, there's not a name on it. So basically, we slap this bad boy on here. Oh boy, this one's going to fit even more gooder. See that? So I mocked it up with my vice grips for the most part, and I just drew me a line right across in there. And then I cut below the line by about 1 inch on purpose. That way so I could fit this panel, and if I did it incorrectly, I would have a little bit of wiggle room, which, you know, I did. I actually cut another 1/2 inch out of this originally. I left it, you know, longer, of course, and then as I was fitting this panel, I noticed that I had, you know, roughly 1/2 inch or so that I had to take out of it to make it correct. So make sure you give yourself plenty of slack. If you leave 1 inch more than what you think, you're probably golden. But I'd rather cut it high or I'm sorry, cut it low, then to cut it too high, and then be stuck. That's just my 2 bits of advice. Another thing I kind of forgot to mention, do not do all these welds together. What do I mean? I mean jump around the panel, because if you don't, you're going to warp it, and then you're going to hate life. So spot weld, spot weld, spot weld, spot weld. Get what I'm saying? Jump around. And if you think you're putting too much heat in that panel, you hear it start making noise, get the heck away from it. Take you a cold rag, water, something, cool it down. You don't want to warp these panels as you're putting them on. But overall, guys, I'm going to call it. This right here was an absolute positive success. I love the fitment there. That's pretty much money. I love it. Except for where daggone it. Man, I got it deep right. I blew through it right there. Just, you know, I was trying to get a specific weld, and I kind of, you know, you're going to see. And these little ones here, these are after I ground down. I saw daylight or what have you, because the panel I didn't cut just perfect. So I was going for those. Get those with your little grinder deal that you're going to be getting. Now I know why people have them. I had no idea why they had them before. I was like, why you got such a little file for? That's just a waste of money. It's not. This is what it's for. It's for that specific reason. I just didn't know. I had no idea. So now I know, and knowing's half the battle. I'm not going to show how to cut on that one over there. Like I say, it's honestly, to me, it's kind of a little bit of guesswork. And this back panel here, just look and see what's hitting. See how that, I mean, we got that pretty much as good as that cheapy panel is going to do. This other side is going to be a doozy too, because it's not great. But stay continued, because we got the front ones to patch too. And I'm buying cheap panels yet again, because I'm not putting fenders on it. This is what I call a budget build. Also, go to Harbin Freight, Amazonian, and get you some of these cheap body hammer, a cheap kit. I don't remember what I paid for mine. I'll show you guys real quick. Because actually what I did to fit this in as good as I did is I took the dolly, is what they call this, and I placed on the back side and hit on the front, and it made that thing fit like a glove. And I started up here, welded, worked it down, welded, worked it down, welded. Get what I'm saying? These right here are just absolutely beautiful. Both, I mean, the whole kit, and it's cheap. It's like, I don't know, 30, 40 bucks, maybe. But it's absolutely worth it. You get 2 imitation hammers and 2 imitation dolly looking things. But I even use this on the floor. As far as fitting it and all that, you're absolutely going to need one of these if you want to do it correctly. Or you can use 2 hammers, use the other hammer as a dolly and hit on it, but why make it harder whenever you don't have to? So that's kind of my 2 cents. This is what I would do, I guess. And where'd it go? I got a new tool yesterday. I did not use this to cut out these panels. I would have. However, it came in the mail yesterday after I had already cut my panels. But we bought the better ones, and actually this one right here was like I think as cheap as, I think it was like 74 bucks, which, you know, I mean, if you're going to buy a tool that you're going to use, I have 2 cars full body to restore. Full bodies. I mean, the 69, it's over there. This one, it's gone. I have to make sheet metal. I have to cut sheet metal. I have to do all this. It's a must, unless I want to buy all of this stuff, and I'm not going to. So I'm going to make absolutely everything that I can. What I can't, I will purchase. So next up will probably be rear frame rails, which I've already purchased from